Hey, hello guys, what's up? My name is Emmanuel Isaiah Amidu. I'm a student from the Department of Pharmacy and also in my first year. So I'm here to talk more about the book written by Harari, The Compound Effect. So basically, you see, he made very important pointers in his book, of how small but consistent actions can lead up to extraordinary success. But as he contextualized further, it turns out like he made very good points as he contextualized further into the book. He always spoke about how habits and choices, how factors like those can really like how it determines the likelihood of you becoming a successful person or achieving what you really want in life. But one of the main factors he spoke about that I really resonate with was when he spoke about influence. So let's get into about influence. Influence are basically just external factors that mend and shape and structure the way you are, your thoughts, your ambitions, your personality, basically you. I mean, sure, influences, they may sound, they may feel insignificant. You may not feel like, you may actually feel it like happening to you. But slowly and gradually, they slowly mold and form the kind of person you are, what you believe in, your personality, and basically your thoughts about life and your ground on everything as a person, as a human being. And you see, influence actually branched into three main areas. Influence as a whole branched into three main areas. Like if you want to contextualize it a bit further, you can have input, there's association, and environment. You see, let's start with inputs. Well, first of all, input is basically just everything that you consume mentally as a person. Like in the book, he made an analogy giving a glass of water, right? A glass of water. It was basically pictured as the mind, and he thought of making like adding dirt or contaminated things inside a glass of water was more like adding all these like unreasonable rants, salacious news, things that really matter into the water. Like basically just contaminating it and making it unusable. That is it. So that is basically just how he explained it. You see, to put this further into context, the mind is basically just like plants. You see, I mean, whatsoever you sow into the plant, whatever you sow into the ground, you will you reap it. Like let's say you're a person that likes taking in positive content, like person like let's say you're a student that you prefer reading books, educational books, and listening to messages or content that feeds the mind, or basically just researching more into your field of study or your preferred field of study than a person that listens to lascivious news, basically just ill suggestive content and doom scrolling, just basically just going around looking content that just fills your head with useless mind clutter, and just like that, just like that, that is how inputs can basically just be contextualized. You see, basically what you feed yourself and what the feedback is. But just like if you feed yourself positive inputs, you get positive feedback. Like example I made about the student. If he reads, he puts better and educative content into his head, into his mind, and he of course he will bring forth, of course he will bring forth better fruits. Yes, he will do better in his grades, and he'll talk more smart, he'll be more intelligent, and basically that's just it. But a student that doesn't really do that, but basically just consumes mind cluttering content, lascivious information, and things that won't really help him out in the path he's willing to go. Will basically just bring forth, will basically just bring forth things that are not really like not really going to present, or won't really show for the kind of person that he wants to be. So that's just it. So in conclusion, like I said, your mind is just like a garden. If you plant useful ideas and they grow into positive habits, yeah, of course they'll grow into positive habits if you plant new ideas. And if you constantly consume negativity or distractions, like what I said about doom scrolling and viewing lascivious content, they'll affect your thinking and your behavior, and it really mess up the chances you have in achieving what you want. To talk about point, that is the area number two about influence, talk about association. You see, what's association? Basically, just the group of people that you enjoy, you spend your time with, like your friends, your colleagues, your peers, anyone. So other thing, see, Jim Rohn made this quote in the book. He said, "You are the average of the five people you spend your time with." Okay, to break that into context, basically the top people that you hang out with have like a huge take when it comes to the influencing you, like maybe like more kind of person you, because slowly you begin to, like, how do I say this? More like an adaptation sequence. You begin to you begin to mimic, or you mimic the way they talk, the way they act, their views on life, and that is just basically just the gist of it. If you have the normal, like the local, it's just a normal saying. If you spend time with four intelligent people, there's a chance of you becoming the fifth. You spend time with three lazy people, there's a chance of you become the fourth lazy person. You spend time with six gym rats, six people that like love exercising and love getting their body fit. Slowly you begin to adapt to them, you begin to see their view and begin to mend it into you begin to splice it into your own. That's just basically how association work, and that is basically just the take that association has on influence. And it's actually something that really needs to be managed if you're a person that really, like, if you're a person that has a goal and you really you really want to be careful of how the things that shape you and the things that mend your entire persona as a person. That's one of the things I take into consideration. The people that hang out with, do they encourage me? Do they inspire me? Do they hold me accountable to the kind of way the way I hold myself, the things I do myself? Those are one of the things that I have to take into main consideration if you, of course, yeah, a person that, like, of course, as a normal person. So, no, and also in the book he spoke about something known as a peak performance partner. Look into context, basically just someone that someone that inspires you, encourages you, holds you accountable for everything you do. The person, let's say you are a person that looks for discipline, you are a person that loves, let's say you're a person that you are in love with your field of study, you're a person that loves engineering, right? You can have this friend or someone that also shares the same passion as you, and just like that, both of you people will start hold yourself accountable to how of course you treat yourself, the things you do, and how you and basically how you guys inspire each other by the way you people put the work and put the grit into what in your field of study. And also it's also the big performance partners, they're also very, very important, because they are the people that can easily nudge you back on track if they ever feel you derailing in any way, if you understand what I mean. Yeah. And you see, yes, about and to put that before that context, like association, they're saying that, like, maybe if a person that really feels that in order to feel more alive or more like active as a human being, you need to be in contact with a lot of people. We don't care their background, don't care who they are. You just need to be with people. No, you don't need lots of friends. You don't need a lot of friends. You just need that one friend. Believe me, not a lot of friends. Like, it doesn't need two or three. As long as you just have that one friend that's as like-minded as you, that one friend that shares your dreams, that both of you share your goals, and you people are willing to do anything on the line to make sure that you guys carry yourselves to that point of life that you're all seeking for. That is perfect. That you just need that one friend. So basically, to conclude this this segment, basically, like, in conclusion, just like, if a person that, like, of course a person that truly wants to succeed and you're worried about the influence that totally shapes who you are, you surround yourself with people that actually encourage you to grow and become the better part of yourself. Like I always say about a performance partner. Yes, that is just it. Okay, now we go to the last branch, the last area of the topic, influence, and how it affects it and how it affects you. I'll come by environments. Yeah, environments. Basically, to break this part down, basically, like, It basically just means that everything you have around you, things that influence your energy, things that like make you to the things around you. It could be like, let's say you are living in a place whereby opportunities don't really feel as much as high as you think they would be. Maybe you see in the book, to put this more in context, in the book Dan Hardy, he spoke about how he visited a city in California, Tiburon. Sorry, a town in California known as Tiburon. Yeah, he went there, and to his surprise, he saw buildings and he saw urbanization in such a level that he never thought he would see in his entire life. He saw paved streets, really tall buildings that he never thought would exist, and actually really nice cars. And he started questioning himself, like, and he actually thought that he was already aimed to the higher part of life. Meanwhile, that is just the part that he thought was highest. So you see, if you are around mediocrity, you will expect mediocrity because you feel that is how the highest point of life, that the highest point that life has supposed for you. But if you are around places that give you a better view of of the peak or the brink that way you can get in life, it can actually influence you and make you to work better in a way. Let's say we have two people, right? One person in a clean and organized environment, another person that is in a rural environment that doesn't really like have much, right? But the person still aims high. So the person now in the clean and organized environment, he's going to, of course, as he works hard, he already knows that there's a lot that he can go. There are numerous levels where he can go in life if he keeps doing everything, if he keeps concentrating and being the best. But a person that is not in a place that really doesn't really present much opportunities, really think that is what there is to life. And even as he works towards being the best, he will just be at that section, at that level, not knowing that there are actually levels to what he was actually going for. And not just that, yes, living in an environment, like any kind of environment, I mean, your thoughts could be part of the environment, your relationship could be part of the environment, everything that you hear, things you see, can be part of the environment. Like, to contextualize this area much further. That's what I'm trying to say. Anything can be part of the environment. Like, anything, things that basically just make you view the world like how it is, can be part of the environment. Yeah. So in conclusion to this, success is not determined by willpower alone. I mean, your thoughts, your relationship, and environment, all of them together, they can influence the kind of person you are. So to conclude all this, success itself, it's not basically generalized by, of course, you can't really go get by willpower alone. I mean, sure, you can person that have a strong driving force and passion towards what you're doing, and you're willing to put everything on the line, basically to get to that point where you see yourself at and you want yourself to be at. Actually, your thoughts, like we talk about the branches of your thoughts, your environment, and your relationships, the people you keep as company, they all influence your daily choices, and those daily choices are what's going to surmount to the result that you're looking for. All of those choices are what's going to take you to where you actually want to be. So if you're a person that really wants to become, like if you're a person that sees yourself in such a height that you really want to be in, and you're willing to take everything on the line just to get there, these things are just need to take into consideration. The kind of people you're around, they can really have a really big take. They have a really big take on the kind of person you are. If you want to become a successful person, of course, be mindful of the people that influence your thoughts, the people that influence your view of life, the people that influence everything you hold dearly. Yes, and also your inputs. We spoke about that earlier. Your inputs. We spoke about that earlier. Basically, just the things that you consume, the content you feed yourself mentally, things that mold, that form, the content that you put into your head and slowly turns into ideologies and things that can influence your decisions daily, your choices daily. You've got to take into consideration because they can actually, if not taken into perspective, they can actually have a huge toll on the kind of what you do and eventually lead to the kind of person you are. Thank you very much.